With y'all, man. It's your boy Hennythemoor reporting live from the liquor store. How's everybody doing today, man? Hey, it's Sunday. Had a great church service with the family, man. Went up there, gave God his time, and now I'm back to give y'all my time, man. You know how it goes. So the liquor store is open. If you don't want to get too drunk on the Sabbath, we can serve you some communion wine. You have a little skeet taste if you want. But we're gonna still, get through the Dallas Cowboys content, talk about some off-season news and updates. If y'all want to talk about Comic Con, we can. I was just Comic Con, Sports Con, we can. You know what I'm saying? And we'll just have a good time together, man. We'll give y'all about an hour or so, and y'all know the usual rules of engagement, man. Okay, Jose Banks, what's good with you, man? Thanks for tapping in. Salute to you. So yeah, man, everybody know the usual rules of engagement. So there's a couple things you got to do before we can get started. Regina Green said she started cleaning. She was bored. Hey, I know. Hey, but don't worry. You can listen to the content while you clean. Sugar Daddy Warren, what's up with you, man? Thank you for tapping in and showing love, my boy. So yeah, y'all know the usual routine. Y'all know the protocol. First and foremost, please hit that like button for your boy. Once you hit that like button, it'll allow the YouTube algorithm to do its thing, and then more people will be able to find their way inside of the liquor store. Then after you hit that like button, I need share button. So once you share it, you put it on a couple platforms. Really shared about 6 times. We are expecting to win 6 Super Bowls or 6 Super Bowl this year. So y'all hit the share button 6 times for me. Share the 6 different Facebook groups or share the Twitter. They're shared 6 different places, so everybody and their mama will know that the liquor store is open for business, and they can come over here and patronize with us, man. And then last but not least, man, after you done hit the like button, after you done hit the share button, I'm gonna need y'all to go ahead and slap the shit out of an Eagles fan. I know that it's Sunday. I know that y'all are trying to be holy and righteous, but you're probably gonna be doing the Lord's work if you slap an Eagles fan. I say this in jest, but we still got to slap Eagles fans, man. Y'all know what it is. Yo, Rev Rebel, what's good with you, man? Justin Kitchen, what's up with you? DC for Life, Texas, what's good with you? So Over It, what's good with you? Thank you for tapping in. She said, you guys were great, always fun to watch. I appreciate that. John Cofield, what's up with you? Thank y'all for showing love, man. Thank y'all for showing love. So, hey, those the first, the original people. What's up with you, my boy? Salute to you. Thank you for tapping in and showing love to the channel. Thomas Garrett, what's up with you, my boy? Thank y'all for coming through and supporting your boy. So after you hit that like button, after you hit that share button about 6 times, after you slap the shit out of an Eagles fan, I'm also have to remind y'all, we are still doing the Dallas Cowboy ticket raffle. We're getting towards the end, and I finally stop calling a jersey raffle, but we're actually raffling off tickets, a PlayStation 4 and or a jersey, depending on who the latter person is or what they prefer. So the first place winner is going to get a ticket, with a seat attached to it. You can go in, you can have a great time, wonderful atmosphere in AT&T Stadium. You only got to stand up or jump up and down when you want to. Standing room area, you still get in, you still have a great time. You can still walk around, you can still interact with the rest of the fan base, and you will have a great time watching the Dallas Cowboys destroy the Philadelphia Eagles. And then last but not least, we got a PlayStation 4 or a jersey, for the third place winner. So if you want to support the raffle, you got until August the 1st to get your entries in. Or if you want to support your boy HTM Sports, Hennythemoor, then you can still hit the cash apps, hit the super chats, we're monetized now, and anything would be greatly appreciated. So now that we got that out the way, let's talk about some off-season news, some off-season updates. And and listen, the first thing we're going to talk about is not really, Jeffrey Smith, what's up with you, man? Joe said, what's up, Henny? I'm sharing your video and pushing that like button. That's love right there, my boy. Salute to you. I love standing room only in 18th seat. Hey, Thomas said he loves standing room only out there. That's love right there. He said, I'll continue to pray for him while he slap an Eagles fan. So yeah, the first thing we're going to talk about is not really Dallas Cowboy related, but it is NFL related. It is a player that's coming off of the board that a lot of people have wanted for a long time. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. 3-time All-Pro wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins is actually going to sign to a team. Yeah, exactly, Joe. That's the first thing we're talking about. So DeAndre Hopkins is signing a 2-year, $26 million deal. And it lists that's $26 million. He can reach $32 million with incentives. So this story was posted by the official NFL Twitter page, and it looks like they got it from the rap sheet. Yes, Hopkins to the Titans. So and listen, it does not really affect the Dallas Cowboys. The only thing that it affects us, we now know that he is not going to end up in the NFC East. He will not be a New York Giant. He will not be a Philadelphia Eagle. He will not be a Washington Commander. So he is not going to be in the NFC East. We do not have to play him 2 times a year. We do not have to play him at all. We don't play the Titans this year. We played them last year. If I'm not mistaken, it's going to be like another 4 years or so before we play the Tennessee Titans again. Right? Then on top of that, he is not in the NFC at all. Right? He's no longer on the NFC team. So if we go to the playoffs, we still won't see him. Right? Or the Miners, right? So, and really, there was still a nice portion, of this fan base that still wanted him. Granted, I understand why. He is a spectacular player. He's an all-pro receiver. He makes the team better. But, he was not really necessarily a need for the Dallas Cowboys, right? We traded for Brandon Cooks, who we know has had 1,000 yards receiving everywhere that he's been. We're expecting Michael Gallup to be healthy. We know what Michael Gallup can do when he is a completely healthy wide receiver. We're all, high on Jalen Tolbert and what we expect him to do this season. So DeAndre Hopkins was never really a need for the Dallas Cowboys. It was not a necessity. Right. He was never really a necessity. He was a want. Right. We wanted to, get that much better at wide receiver after what we went through last year. But I think Brandon Cooks will suffice for us. I think, and I've said this multiple times, I'm not saying that Brandon Cooks is a better overall player than DeAndre Hopkins. But what I am saying is Brandon Cooks is a better West Coast receiving threat than DeAndre Hopkins is. Brandon Cooks brings the run after catch ability. He brings the big play ability. He has yak capabilities. And he has versatility as he can line up in the slot. He can line up at every other wide receiver position. He can be your motion guy. He has a lot of versatility in this offense, more so than DeAndre Hopkins does. And there's nothing wrong with that. DeAndre Hopkins is a damn good player. Still, in my opinion, one of the best wide receivers in the National Football League. But, he chose not to become a Dallas Cowboy. He chose not to sign with any team in the NFC. He chose not to sign with any team in the NFC East. Yeah, I agree with you, Jeffrey. I like our receiving core as well. I do like our receiving core. We got a much improved receiving core from what we ran out there last year. So I'm not really tripping on that. You know what I'm saying? I think we got the needed personnel to do the things that we want to do. Hopkins going to the Titans is a good choice. Plus, he and Coach O'Brien can't get along if he signed with the Patriots. If you remember, Dan O'Brien traded him out of Houston. You're right. That is correct. Traded him for a bag of potato chips. So, he would. I don't necessarily. I wouldn't go back and work with somebody that I don't like either, especially when I ain't got to. Only way we play Titans this season if they make it to the Super Bowl, and we do too. You're right. DC4L, hey, DC4 Life, let's freaking go. Hey, that's my boy DC4 Life tapping in with us. Thank you for your support and thank you for your love, man. I pray that everything is going well for you. You're still in my prayers, my boy. And we're here for you. This will always remember we're here for you, man. Happy Sunday, and thank you for taking some time out your day to tap in and show us some love, man. But one thing I do want to point out, DeAndre Hopkins made this entire list. Right, made this entire list of quarterbacks he would like to play with. Eagles fans like, Jalen Hurts. He want to play with Jalen Hurts. Signed for next to nothing. Eagles could have realistically cleared the salary space to sign him, and he still chose to go play with either Ryan Tannehill, Will Levi, or the Willis kid. So, there was all this fuss made about him wanting to play with one of these particular quarterbacks, and he still went and played with a below, and listen, this is not Ryan Tannehill slander. Ryan Tannehill is not horrible, right? Comparatively, like, he's not horrible. He's just not great. He's probably in the back end. He's probably in the back end of quarterbacks, but still. Yo, South Texas, what's up with you, man? Thank you for tapping in and showing love to the channel, man. So what are y'all thoughts about DeAndre Hopkins and his decision to go to the Tennessee Titans? Does not really have much bearing on the Dallas Cowboys, but it's July the 16th. If that's what we want to talk about, we want to talk about. Mr. Gina Green said it was a bluff. Regular bologna. That bologna sandwich did not have cheese or any other condiments on it. They didn't even burn the bologna up properly. The bologna was still a little cold. The bread was soggy. It was not a good sandwich. It was not a good sandwich. You wouldn't feed it to your kids or anybody else that you love. That was kind of bologna sandwich he got traded for. So that's why I'm not mad at him for not going back to the Patriots. But if he had chosen the Patriots, we would at least played him this year. We do play the New England Patriots, so it would be interesting to see how that went, especially with all the fuss that was made, about him, not necessarily wanting to play with Dak Prescott. So they made a big fuss about that. But it would have been interesting to play DeAndre Hopkins if he did sign with a team like the Eagles or sign with the Patriots. So what I'm saying, but more power to him. I am never mad when somebody gets paid. Never mad when somebody gets paid. Like I said, it's getting ready to come to Nashville and be the top dog here. Peanut butter, no burgers. Yeah, man, Friday's a classic. Friday is a classic. He said that was a bag run. Well, was it? Because he did not get that much money. Like $13 million for a wide receiver of his ilk is not a lot of money. It was just being completely honest. It's not a lot of money at all. Right? Like somebody in the chat pointed out, that Michael Gallup is making similar money. Willie T, what's up with you, man? They were tapping in and showing love to the liquor store. So yeah, man, we're having a very good, Sunday so far. So the next talking point is actually a contract that is supposedly in the works, but it's a contract that is supposedly in the works for one of our players. It's not Dak Prescott, right? And before you say anything, it's not a Dak Prescott contract looming. It's not a CeeDee Lamb contract that's allegedly brewing. It's not none of that. But it should be interesting. And hey, if y'all did not know, because I just now see it, West Coast is doing an interview with Malik Hooker, and so is Landlord for Alabama. So my brothers in the Dallas Cowboy game, they got an interview with Malik Hooker, starting safety for the Dallas Cowboys. It's happening live right now on West Coast channel. So if y'all want to spin the block, y'all go over there, show them support. Yeah, go over there, show them boys some support, man. But they out there doing it big. Yeah, they out there doing it big right now, man. I'm proud of the boys, man. They out there doing the damn thing. So salute to them. They are actually having an interview with Malik Hooker right now. I was happy for them, man. Cowboys Uncut putting in work. You gotta love it, man. Home team up by 1 million. Home team is up by 1 million. Y'all make sure y'all go over there and y'all support that interview, man. I did not know what's going on at this moment in time. I had to come back today. But you know, they're picking up the slack. They put in that work, man. They put in that work. But yes, the player that's finna get paid. We are talking about one Terrence Steele, right? There is a report. Yo, Kevin Godwin, what's up with you, man? Say, am I going to spin the block? I'm gonna still stay. I'm gonna stay on. I'm gonna stay on. You know, I'm watching. I'm watching it from my phone as well. Yo, what's up with you, Emmanuel Thomas? Yeah, I'm watching it from my phone as well. I done liked it, shared it. As a matter of fact, it's over with now. It's over with now. You know, it's no, they don't let you keep the players that long, but you know that's a real big move. You know, Wes was able to get an interview with Malik Hooker. Landlord was able to get an interview with Malik Hooker. You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, that's major, man. That's major. That's major. That's major. That's major. But yeah, let me get this updated though, real quick though, man. Well, yeah, I'm just proud of my brothers, man. You know, they put in a lot of work. They make a lot of sacrifices. You know what I'm saying? Like, they both flew out there. They both flew in to Dallas. You know, Landlord flew up from Alabama. West flew in from California. And no, man, like, you just got to show people love when they go to those extremes to bring quality content to the masses, man. You know, they out there interviewing our starting safety, former first round pick. You know, I'm interested in watching it, you know, in full and seeing, you know, how it went. You know what I'm saying? Seeing what was said, seeing the questions asked. Like, I'm really ready to catch it on the playback. But this is the report about Terrence Steele. And see, unlike, you know, vultures, right? I'm gonna take time to say this. Unlike the vultures that be out there, I actually give credit to where I find this stuff at. You know what I'm saying? This is from Fish Report. You see how easy that was, JPA? Do you see how easy that was, Landry Hat? You know, when you use information, all you got to do is cite the damn source. So, you know, don't be out here looking goofy. None of y'all. Don't be out here looking goofy, man. You know, we ain't clickbaiters. We content creators, and you know the stuff that we create. You know, we really don't want y'all out there profiting off of it without the. You know, you really be taking food out of the mouths of the people. You know, that go these links to make this stuff happen. You know what I'm saying? When you don't give them their proper credit, you just run with it. But I digress. So shout out to Fish. You know, this is a report from him. The Dallas Cowboys are negotiating Terrence Steele new contract. They say it's going to be about a $50 million contract. Now, granted, it will probably be a $50 million, you know, multi-year deal. I don't think it's going to be like $50 million a year, right? That's not even possible, especially because he plays right tackle. Right tackles are not going to get enumerated like that. No offensive lineman is going to get enumerated like that. So I could see this as being like a 3-year or a 2-year deal, you know, totaling up to $50 million possibly. And just to be frank, man, like Terrence Steele deserves the money that he's going to demand. Right. I know a lot of people turn sour. He said, I would not long term him until I see him play. Well, see, this is the thing. Like, sometimes you have to take, you know, educated guesses and things like that, you know, when it comes to signing players. You have one of the best medical staffs in the National Football League. You have an award-winning medical staff. Like, speaking of Malik Hooker, they were able to keep him healthy after he had those early on, you know, injury issues. So, you know, because you got such a good medical staff, they will know, you know, 9 times out of 10 if somebody's going to get back to how they were, if they, you know, or not, right? That's why we're able to take these educated chances and risks on players that have some injury histories. We took an educated guess, you know, We took an educated guess on Randall Cobb. It paid dividends. We took an educated guess on Malik Hooker. It paid dividends. So on and so forth. So like I don't ever really trip out about injuries or guys coming back. I just don't want them to rush guys back. Right? I just don't want them to rush nobody back. Because remember, Michael Gallup, it'll be a different conversation about Michael Gallup if he stayed out, got fully healthy, and then came back and played like Michael Gallup in the limited amount of games that he did play. People would have preferred, right? People would have preferred, Michael Gallup only playing about 7 games, but you got 7 games of Michael Gallup instead of playing 12 games, and you done exacerbated the injury. You're not out there putting out good tape. Like all that stuff matters. You know what I'm saying? Like it would have been more to him. He said so long term him, he don't play until week 8. Yes, because like you said, it's a long term contract. You're not just signing a person for the 2023 season. You're signing Terrence Steele for 2024. You're signing Terrence Steele for 2025, 2026, 2027. Like he's a guy when he gets fully healthy that you want on your team. He's one of the best run blocking right tackles in the National Football League. He is improving as a pass blocker. He's still very young, but he's still improving year in and year out, and he's still very, very good as it is right now. So I would long term him because I'm not really concerned about 2023. Just get healthy, come back, solidify my offense. Because remember, when you did not have Terrence Steele on your offensive line, your entire running back room was averaging 2.3 yards a carry. They were averaging 2.3 yards a carry without Terrence Steele on the offensive line. So unless you prove that you can replace his production, right, on the offensive line, unless you can prove that you have something better, you sign Terrence Steele, you let him get healthy, and you live with it. Because remember, the offensive line affects the entirety of your team. If your offensive line, can't run block at a good level, you can't run the ball. If your offensive line can't pass block at a good level, you can't pass the ball, right? If you can't do one of those, your offense becomes unbalanced, and when your offense becomes unbalanced, right, it gets hard to stay on the field. When it gets hard to stay on the field, that means that your defense is on the field a lot, and that wears the defense down. So it's a chain reaction of events that you can prevent. A chain reaction of events that you can prevent just by signing Terrence Steele. You talk about Biadasz. He said 2024 center number 1 priority. He walking badass. No big loss. Now you talk about Biadasz. You talk about letting Biadasz walk. It's up in the air for me about whether or not they should bring him back. Right, gotta be honest. He is better than he's better than I give him credit for. I'm very critical of him. But is it a position that we can possibly upgrade? Maybe. I'm just gonna see how it plays out. If he plays out his mind this year, I wouldn't mind tagging him or keeping him. But yeah, the price will have to be right. Now, if Tyler Biadasz plays at an all-pro level this year, of course he'll probably play his way out of Dallas. But he said they probably ain't gonna resign both. It'll probably come down to who the Dallas Cowboys think they can replace a little bit easier. Because that's how they do. But yeah, what are your thoughts? He said bologna sandwich with mustard. Y'all so damn crazy. But what are y'all thoughts about keeping Terrence Steele, man? Now, listen, I like Terrence Steele. I like him a lot. He's a great story. He's been productive for us. He's still very young. And, you know, like I already pointed out how badly your offensive line struggled when he was not in the lineup. I might still have my chart on here to show, you know, just how bad it was. If not, you know, I'll go find it and see if I can re-upload it. But we were not great at all. No, I don't have that on here still. What's up, Clebo? Terrence Steele ain't going nowhere. Keeping Steele is a good thing. I'm in on Steele. Okay, so I think I don't. Yeah, I didn't think I would be alone. I like Steele. You know, I like Steele a lot. Said last 3 years, how many 4th and inches that get stuffed? Okay. You talk about Tyler. Okay. It said Cowboys draft so well, so many good young players, but they are terrible at treating their players right and re-signing them before their contract expires. That is true. No, there are a lot of times where the Dallas Cowboys end up, you know, bidding against themselves. A lot of times they end up bidding against themselves. Yo, Neil, what's up with you, man? He said, what's up, Henny? 11 Eagle fans felt their hand before I checked in. Hey, that's love right there, man. I appreciate that. I appreciate that, my boy. You know, he's a serial slapper, man. So when he slide in, you know, his hand probably red already. But you know, he been putting in work for us, man, on a Sunday. So you know, you gotta appreciate that kind of discipline and you know that kind of dedication. So shout out to my brother Neil, man. I like Steele, pay the guy. I feel that. Big Benny Rich, what's good with you, my boy? Thank you for tapping in and showing love, man. That's support right there. I appreciate it. I just hate long signing hurt players long term. Oh, it says okay, signing hurt players to long term deals. Well, this is the thing. Terrence Steele does not have like an injury. Does not have an injury history though. You know what I mean? So like a guy that is normally great is normally always available. If they have like one injury, you know what I'm saying? Like you should be able to trust that for the most part. Granted, you know, sometimes that snowballs. Sometimes you get one injury and then you end up with multiple. And then, you know, once you end up with multiple, you become considered injury prone. But at this point in time, you know, he's not considered an injury prone player. My boy said it's a 24/7, 365, sometimes 366 job. Yeah, I feel that. Yeah, every player does get hurt. You're gonna get dinged up in the NFL, man. Sometimes the injury is not going to keep you out of a game, but most of the guys are banged up, man. Most of the guys are banged up, you know, bruised up, not feeling their best. You know, that's why these off season, you know, is very important to these players. You know, they get an opportunity to heal, properly recuperate, rest up. So yeah, man, I definitely feel that. But yeah, I would definitely keep Steele. I would keep Steele. If anybody had on my team have to get replaced, but this is the thing though, right? Because we're talking about letting Ty Biotis walk. The Dallas Cowboys. I don't think he will. Chase Young, even when Chase Young was healthy, he wasn't doing that. Like Chase, listen, Chase Young, even when he was healthy, he wasn't doing that much, man. So I don't know. He ain't played a lot of football recently. He'll probably be rusty coming back. I don't think he's gonna be out there doing too much this first year. Clevo said he hoped the plan come through. Hey, I feel that, man. But listen, if you let Tyler Biadasz walk, you know that Tyron Smith is winding down at this point in his career. You're gonna eventually need, 2020 Terrence Steele wasn't good. Like we're not gonna sit here and act like Terrence Steele was good in 2020. He became a good player in 2021, and then he replicated that in 2022. We all know Terrence Steele wasn't good in 2020. Right, but player development is a real thing. He is a far better, stronger, more technical player than he was in 2020. So this version of Terrence Steele is not going to get folded up by Chase Young. Not by this version of Chase Young. I hope they aren't scheming these contracts so they don't have to extend that. Well, listen, regardless of what happens, they have to extend Dak Prescott. Like Dak Prescott's going to cost almost $60 million against the cap next year. If he plays good or if he plays bad. So, the thing to do is to extend Dak Prescott regardless. Extend him. And really, I already spoke to y'all on this. If you extend Dak Prescott, you will open up, enough cap space to re-sign most of these other people. You got down there $20 million in cap space right now. You can save down there $30 million by extending Dak Prescott. If you cut Michael Gallup, if he doesn't live up to his expectations this year, you'll save even more money. So there is plenty, there's plenty of opportunities to clear the cap. If you do it right, you'll have enough money to keep Dak, keep CD, keep Trayvon, keep Steele or Biadasz, whichever one you want. Whichever one you want, because the money's not the issue. The issue is the want. The issue is the want for the Dallas Cowboys. They have the means to do it. The issue is, do they want to do it? Exactly. Dak Prescott extension equals way more cap space. Way more cap space. Yo, Jameson Taylor, what's up with you, man? Action Pal, what's up with you, man? Man, I'm living life, Action Pal. Thank you for the love, man. I appreciate you. So, everybody, let's take a quick little light break, man. And they better not. Listen, I don't want to be right by anything like that. And you shouldn't either. We should not, green light the Dallas Cowboys doing stupid stuff. And something stupid is letting an all-pro cornerback walk when you don't have an answer on your roster. Because remember, you can't let all these people walk. There's only one draft. You ain't gonna always hit on your damn draft picks. So you can't expect, to let your center walk and to also let your number one corner walk. Right? You're adding too many holes. You're not making your team better by doing that. Because regardless of who you draft, they're not going to be as good as a player as Trayvon Diggs is year one. We already got a very short championship window. Waiting on season means they will get burned and Dak price per agent will go up. How many times front office got to keep betting against their guys? I agree with that as well. Because remember, they betted against Dak Prescott. He balled, got hurt, and then they couldn't do anything without him. And remember, because they waited, it cost them $10 million per year. It went from being a $30 million a year contract to a $40 million a year contract. So, against waiting to pay players. Because the rule of thumb is always the quicker that you get to the negotiation table and get it done, the sooner that deal becomes a discount. The sooner that it becomes a discount. Well, that's the thing. It's not always up to Steven. This is going to be a personnel decision. Jerry Jones will have a final say in it as well. And as long as Trayvon Diggs sells jerseys and is productive, he was probably going to be a Dallas Cowboy. You're right, because he didn't want to pay Prime. And Prime still ended up on the team. So that should tell you enough. I don't have to do the math because it's prorated over the course of multiple years. You have the cap space to pay every single one of those dudes. And you're talking about Michael Parsons like he's going to get paid instantly. Michael Parsons doesn't even become eligible for an extension till next year, right? Are the Dallas Cowboys going to run to the table and pay Michael Parsons? Of course not. Like Diggs going to be Trayvon Diggs is going to be 2 years into his extension by the time they actually decide to pay Michael Parsons. We talk about a guy, and listen, the Dallas Cowboys are not rushing to the table to pay anybody. They ain't rushed to the table for CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb is going to probably end up playing on his 5th year option. They ain't rushed to the table for anybody. You know what I'm saying? So like, I'm not concerned about the Micah contract or the Dak contract. They're not going to pay all these people at the same time. Michael Parsons is going to wait just like everybody else had to wait. Because remember, this is only going to be year 3 for Michael Parsons. Michael Parsons is not even eligible for an extension till next year. And then even then, right, he has his 4th year and his 5th year. I mean, I agree with that, which is my point, but they're not going to do it. That would have been the same thing with Trayvon Diggs, right? That would have been the same thing with Trayvon Diggs and CeeDee Lamb. The quicker you get it done, the cheaper it is. They ain't did that to nobody. See, we're talking about the common sense stuff to do, and we're talking about the Dallas Cowboys. They don't do that. They ain't never did it. They ain't never did it. I've been begging them to do it, but they never do it. So we're gonna ignore that they haven't did it for everybody else, and they're gonna make an exception for Michael. They gonna do Michael Parsons dirty like they did everybody else. They ain't got no favorites. They ain't got no favorites. Diggs tag and trade for 2. Listen, nobody's going to trade you 2 number 1 picks for somebody they got to extend. If you have to, especially a cornerback, nobody is going to trade you 2 firsts for somebody with no years on their contract. With no years on their contract. Because remember, there's no guarantee that he signs an extension with them people. So you trade away 2 first-round picks and he doesn't even want to play with you? No. You ain't getting 2 first-round picks for a guy that can walk away after one season. Because remember, it's not written in blood that he has to sign an extension with the person that trades for him. Cowboys way my people. They said they did for Ramsey. Come on now. Matter of fact, let's pull up the Jalen Ramsey contract, so I can show y'all some key differences. Let's get it pulled up so we can examine that real quick, shall we? Because I would hate to talk just from memory. Okay, so Jalen Ramsey still has years on his contract. So Jalen Ramsey got traded, but Jalen Ramsey got 3 years on contract still. It's not the same. He signed his extension in 2020. He signed a massive extension in 2020, and he's gonna be on that extension until the year 2026. The final year of it is 2025. So when they traded for Jalen Ramsey and they traded away those picks, they got 3 years of Jalen Ramsey being guaranteed to be on the team. You would get 1 year of Trayvon Diggs if you were to trade for him. So it's not technically the same. You were able to get that for Jalen Ramsey, but Jalen Ramsey, had years on his contract. Yeah, Jalen Ramsey also forced his way. You talk about the first time he got traded. Yeah, Jalen Ramsey is the one that forced the trade though. Jalen Ramsey did not want to be a Jaguar, so he forced his way out, which would be different than trading somebody away against their will. It still wouldn't quite be the same, but I understand what you're saying. In principle, it can work just depending on how it plays out. But in this situation, I don't think it will work. Yeah, listen. We need to stop trying to make holes on our team. Draft picks don't always work out. I always prefer proven commodities over kids. You know what I'm saying? When you want to go to war, you send men. You don't send, snotty nose. You don't send snotty nose. You send men. So I would prefer a veteran like Trayvon Diggs over whatever top prospect supposed to be coming out. Right, because remember, a lot of those top prospects from Trayvon Diggs, draft class, he's outplayed them. So I prefer to keep, the proven commodity. Yeah, the price to trade for the franchise tag is twos. That's why most people don't get traded while they're on the franchise tag. Wasn't that how the Patriots was doing, getting veterans players to keep them running those years? Yes. The Patriots did not give a damn about draft picks. They sent their draft picks somewhere and they got veteran players. The Rams did not give a damn about draft picks when they built their Super Bowl team. They traded for Jalen Ramsey. They traded for Matthew Stafford. They traded for Odell Beckham. Right? So they went out there and made moves, got veteran players, and built their Super Bowl team. You look at the Bengals. They drafted their offense. They built their entire defense through free agency with veteran players. They signed the Henderson kids from the Saints. They signed Chidobe Awuzie. They signed Eli Apple. They signed this person and that person. They built that defense through free agency through veteran players. Right? You look at the Eagles. They traded for veteran players when they went to the Super Bowl the first time and won. They traded for veteran players, to get them over the top with A.J. Brown. And they brought in Sue, who was a veteran, and Thomason, who was a veteran. and they got Bradshaw, who was a veteran. Right, first time around, they picked up Darius Slay, who was a veteran. So they've been building their team through veteran players as well. So I would prefer that approach. And even if it blows up in my face, what I'm saying, like, just you have an easier time getting out of those contracts. But a lot of times you're only signing them for like a couple years. And yeah, and that's what the Dolphins are trying to do. They went and brought in a big gun and Tyreek Hill. They traded for Jalen Ramsey, who was still Jalen Ramsey. I know he didn't have the best season in the world last year, but he's still a dog. So, I prefer, proven commodities over kids. Yeah, and it takes way too long for these guys to develop. It takes way too long for these guys to develop. Like, what if you draft somebody, you're trying to win a Super Bowl this year, they're not really ready to even, contribute until 3 years down the line. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm not super huge on kids when I'm trying to win a championship. If my team was in a rebuild, if I had a rebuilding team, give me all the draft picks in the world. If I want a competitive team, if I want a team that's ready to go to war, give me, all the veteran players. Give me all the guys that already played in the postseason. Give me all the guys that, are playing to feed their wife and kids. They got a lifestyle to maintain. Give me somebody that got something to lose. Give me somebody to take this stuff seriously. Give me somebody that already knows how to be a pro in the NFL, and I ain't got to teach them. You know what I mean? So, and don't get me wrong, like, I believe, in giving young guys shots, but I don't need a team full of young guys. I need veteran leaders in most of my key roles, and then I just need a couple of rookies, to fill in here and there if they're able to step up. Of course not. I don't even believe that Tony Pollard is going to sign a second contract with the Dallas Cowboys. I think Tony Pollard is either A, going to ball out and price his way out of Dallas, or B, they're going to try and suppress his production so they can try and lowball him. But I think if left to his own devices, Tony Pollard is going to have another season where he tops over 1,300 yards, 1,500 yards from scrimmage, and give you double-digit touchdowns again. So, yeah, I agree with that. Most of the teams, who have, found success, have built a large portion of their team through, proper free through proper free agent signings and trades and stuff. I think the only exception is the Chiefs, because they drafted Tyreek Hill, they drafted Patrick Mahomes, they drafted Kelsey. But even them, they picked up Sammy Watkins to be their third receiver. They signed Tyrann Mathieu in free agency. They went out and got Frank Clark. Right? They did a bunch of different things to bolster their team. They went and rebuild Patrick Mahomes' offensive line twice. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I guess if you want to compete, you got to have a balance. You can't just all be about the draft. You got to actually get some veteran players in there too, man. You got to actually get some veterans in. Gotta give my boys their flowers. I even text them and tell them congratulations. Yo, iRock, what's good with you, man? Craven Cowboy, what's good with you, man? Thank you for tapping in and showing love. Is that they might listen because they suppress the running back market so much. Is not outside of the realm of possibility of him getting tagged for a second time. Just depending on how much that tag is. But you know hey, listen, they're making everybody and their mama take pay cuts. Yeah, Joe Mixon took less money. Aaron Jones took less money. They tagged Saquon Barkley. They tagged Josh Jacobs. Ezekiel Elliott got cut. Yeah, they're forcing running backs to take discounts at this point. So you know, there's a possibility that this has an overall effect, you know, on the market and Dallas Cowboys' ability to retain Tony Pollard. Right, because if nobody is paying the running back position, then there's nowhere that you can go to get, you know, above market pay. You know, there. Yeah, it said Sanders left, but he took less to get a job in Carolina. He had no choice. Yeah, when there's not a market, you know what I'm saying, there's really nothing you can do but take what people give you. If anything, Tony Pollard is actually, to an extent, he is blessed to have the franchise tag because he's making more money, you know, this year than a lot of these running backs are. Hey, Michael Autry, salute to you, man. Thank you for sliding through and showing love to the liquor store, man. I appreciate your love and support, man. Salute to you. Y'all some real ones, man. It's Sunday. Y'all still rocking with your boy, man. That's love right there. Yeah, it really is sad, though, how they do in the running back position. They already have one of the shorter shelf lives of any position in the National Football League, you know, and they just letting them do them boys any kind of way. Because you think about it, man, they got to go out there. They got to run the ball, right? You got to run between the tackle, off tackle, right? You got to pass block, right? You got to be able to pick up, you know, defensive ends and blitzing linebackers and stuff like that to protect your quarterback. You got to go out there and catch passes. You got to be involved in the screen game. You know, you might have to go out there and run a route or two. They do a lot. You know, they do a lot. And, you know, it's sad they don't get compensated like that. Yo, Lost in Translation. What's up with you, man? Salute to you. Thank you for sliding in and showing love, man. Make sure you slap the shit out the Eagles fan on your way in, man. Matter of fact, Michael Autry, we talked about that at the beginning of the show. We did talk about DeAndre Hopkins signing that deal with the Tennessee Titans. Well, you know, like I said, overall, it has no effect on us. It just means that he is not going to be, you know, coming to the NFC East or becoming a Dallas Cowboy. Man, running back used to be the key position in the NFL. But, you know, once it got away from being a run-first league to more of a passing league, you know, you see, you know, how they done did folks. Oh, yeah, man. Yeah. Happy for a Hop, but I don't think he will be satisfied. Rookie quarterback or Tannehill. Yeah, you know, and that's one of the main things that I pointed out, you know, when they were speaking about it. Right. They made a lot of fuss about him wanting to play with a superior quarterback. And honestly, he went to a worse quarterback. Listen, I give Kyler Murray a hard time on my podcast all the time, right? But you know, I'm very fair with it. You know, I always point out he has not thrown for 4,000 yards, has never thrown for 30 touchdowns, has never won a playoff game. I do point that out. But somehow I still feel, you know, that overall, you know, that Kyler Murray is a better talent than Ryan Tannehill. I still think he's a more talented player than Ryan Tannehill. Now, Tannehill does have a playoff win. right? He does have a playoff win. He has done some. He has, shown to be a more consistent passer at times than Kyler Murray. But I don't think either one are top 10 quarterbacks, but I do think that Kyler Murray was probably a better talent than him. And plus, weak division. Yeah, he does have Derrick Henry over there to help with some of the offensive load. He said, "Hey, fam, I don't know the Jag. Oh, listen. The Jaguars are going to win that division. The Jaguars have better offensive personnel, and usually, like when you have the better coaching, like a Doug Pearson, he did win the Super Bowl with the Eagles. I still think, as of right now, that Trevor Lawrence is the best quarterback in that division. You know, because who's else in that division? You got C.J. Stroud, who we don't know if he's going to work out with the Houston Texans. You got Ryan Tannehill, and then you got another rookie quarterback. So right now, I would expect Trevor Lawrence and them to win that division. I'll be completely shocked if they don't. Cause they got the best weapons. They got the best quarterback. They got the best coach. Defense might be a little shaky, but they got the best offensive personnel over there. So I think that, and listen, because the other guys' offenses aren't that great, it's not going to be like their defense is going to get exposed when they play them. Along they can contain Derrick Henry when they play the Titans, they should win those games, right? Hey, how you doing, Matt? Thank you for tapping in and showing love, man. I appreciate y'all for everything. Yeah, the Jags definitely going to win that division. I got the Jags winning that division. I got another dark horse. I got the Saints winning their division. So I think the Saints are going to be a top 4 seed in the NFC just based on the fact that I think they'll win their division. Because it's the same thing. People give Derek Carr a very hard time, but I definitely do think that he's the best quarterback in that division until proven otherwise. I know people are excited about who's over there, Bryce Young or CJ? I forget who I know people are excited about Bryce Young, but I don't think he has the weapons necessarily just right now. And it's either going to be him or Andy Dalton. I think Derek Carr is better than both of them right now. Okay, cool. What you think of the NFL? Now, CJ, no, Indy has the boy from Florida. They got the running back from not the running back, damn it. They got the quarterback from Florida, who they comparing to Cam Newton and stuff. Oh yeah, Saints will win that division easily. What you think of the NFL readjusting the divisions later on in the future? It depends on how that works. Hey, nothing about being wrong. And you're right. The original people is Richardson. I forgot the kid's name, but you're right. It's Richardson. We're all mistaken. Yeah, we all get mistaken from time to time. So I don't when I speak, I don't always say the exact correct thing. You know what I'm saying? But it's not malicious. You know what I'm saying? We don't know what we don't know. Thank you. Yeah, CJ's on the Texans. Bryce Young, plays for Carolina, and then Richardson ended up going to the Colts. And really, I hope nothing but good things for them, for the young guys, man. Except for when they play us. I hope they ball, except when they play the Dallas Cowboys. I hope they ball every other time. And then I hope they have their worst games. I never wish injury on kids, but I damn sure will wish that they have a bad game against my team. Yeah. They comparing that boy to Cam. Those are big shoes to fill. But people be forgetting how good Cam Newton was. Like Cam Newton rushed for 14 touchdowns his first year in the league, and he threw for 21. So Cam Newton scored 38 times when his first year in the league. I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye on their quarterback battle. Yeah, Cam Newton, his MVP season was crazy, man. Like Cam Newton was great, man. Cam Newton was great. A lot of people discredit that because he never got back to the Super Bowl. But like he won an MVP, really went there without any kind of real outside threat. He really carried that team in, man. So yeah, he had everybody dabbing. Yeah, man. That was crazy. That was one of the more electrifying runs I ever seen. With how he did it, it was even more spectacular. So I don't think anybody, would have would have saw that coming. And just the way the 2014 season ended, with the way they came in going crazy in 2015, it was spectacular. So those are big shoes to fill, though. Those are real big shoes to fill, trying to be the next Cam Newton. Hey, shout out to Wanda for the two ticket entries. So I'm gonna go ahead and add those in to you, Miss Wanda, but I did receive them. So let me go ahead and get it updated. Let me see. Let me find you so I can update it. There you go. So you now have 3 entries, Miss Wanda. So thank you for the love. And if y'all want to be like Miss Wanda and improve your odds of winning the Dallas Cowboy home game tickets to watch them destroy the Philadelphia Eagles live and in person, either hit the Cash App as she did or hit the Super Chats or Super Stickers. Oh yeah, Von, and that's really the guy that Michael Parsons reminds me of, is Von Miller. Like he reminds me of Von Miller. Hey, appreciate the love, the original people. Holla at me, man. I will probably be back on later on, man. So we are going to do raffle updates, then we'll do Q&A, and then we also will slide off for a little bit, man. So yeah, we will do raffle updates, then we'll do Q&A. Y'all ask y'all questions, and then we'll slide. So real quick, just for the people who have participated or want to know, these are the current standings in the Dallas Cowboy ticket raffle. Craven Cowboys, you got 10 entries. Dwayne Brown has 11 entries. Blake has 4 of them. Brian Kite, you're $5 away from getting a full entry. Hoodlum has 2 entries. Sharon has an entry. DC for Life Texas has 9. Neil has 17. The Lunatic has 1. Donald Holmes has 5. Taiwan, you have 4. Crystal has 1. Mike DC4L has 1. Josie Guetes has 2. King G has 3. Michael Atri, you have 3. VA Roster X has 17. Big Benny, you got 1, my boy. Justin Kitchen, you got 3, brother. Sugar Daddy 1, you have an entry. Damn Dizzle has an entry. Big Dale, you got an entry. JJ the Mime has 2. Miss Wonder, you now have 3 entries. Salter has 2 entries. S.A. Richburg has 18. Mucho Boomin, matter of fact, Mucho Boomin has 2. David Sorrells has 2. Dwayne Morris has 2.5. Triple D has 1. Melvin Brownlee has 4. J Money got 2. Morquetta got 2. Big Tex got 1. Regina Green got 6. Choctaw, you got 1. Jose Banks got 2. The Original People has 3. NFZ with 1. Donna has 3. Reggie has 3. Kevin Richards has 2. Matt Leslie with 4. Freight Train with 2. Common Sense with 2. Q Dog 1.5. JR 1. Vernon Scott 1. Desmond Ironman 2. Michael Lockhart 1. 80s Baby 1. And iRock, you have 2.5. You're $5 away from getting the 3. So those are the standings in the Dallas Cowboy ticket raffle. So I appreciate, first and foremost, I appreciate everybody that has already participated. Thank y'all for the love and support. Y'all is the real ones. Thank y'all for continuing to help the podcast grow by supporting the raffles and supporting me. And also, if y'all want to improve your odds of winning, you got to till August the 1st to get your entries in. So, we're going to cut it off on August the 1st, and then we will draw the 3 different winners on August the 2nd. So, again, thank y'all for the love. And y'all want to enter raffle entries, just get them in before August the 1st. You can either send them through $Hennythemoor, which is at the bottom of the screen, or you can send it through Super Chat or Super Stickers at this point. All right, now let's move to Q&A, man. Let's move into Q&A. Y'all got questions, I got answers. So let's chop it up for a little while, man. God is good too, man. We are actually going through a little storm right now, and I have not lost any connectivities. What's up with you, Mr. Richburg? Thank you for tapping in and showing love, man. Matt Badden tapped out on me. Hey, I'm going to holler at you, my boy. Thank you for the love, my boy. We'll holler at you. But yeah, y'all go ahead and put y'all questions in the chat box. I'll take the time out to answer them. And then, we'll get on out of here. But everybody got questions? Hey, shout out to Neil for the $9.99. They got you another raffle entry, my brother. Who you think will cost more? Terrence Steele or Tyler Biadasz? Well, let me get Mr. Neil updated first, and then I'm gonna answer that. So Neil, you now have 18. So you and S.A. Richburg are tied. Well, you, S.A. Richburg, and Roster VX, all 3 y'all got 18. Who you think will cost more? It's gonna be dependent on this season. Right now it's Terrence Steele. But if Tyler Biadasz has like an all-pro season, you can see it. You can see it happening. But Terrence Steele is probably going to cost a little bit more. In my opinion, he will. Matter of fact, let's take a look. That's really a quick. Let's actually find a question out. NFL center contracts. So let's take the centers and how much they make. All right, so the highest paid center in the National Football League makes $14.2 million a year. That's Jason Kelce. Yeah, Jason Kelsey makes the most money of any center. He makes $14.2 million a year. Ragnar makes 13.5. Ryan Jensen makes 13. Corey Linsley makes 12.5. Ryan Kelly makes 12.4. Eric McCoy makes 12. Right? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 6 centers that make double digits. Right? So now let's take a look at right tackle. So NFL right tackle contracts. You see Lane Johnson is the highest paid right tackle. He makes 20.1. Jawan Taylor makes 20. Ryan Ramczyk makes 19. Brian O'Neill makes 18.5. Mike McGlinchey makes 17. Braden Smith makes 17. Yeah, it'll be Tyler. It'll be Terrence Steele. It'll be Terrence Steele. Based on the position, right tackles get paid more than even the best centers. So average right tackles make more than even the best center in the National Football League. So it have to be him. My train of thought has always been to pay Dak Prescott first. Once you pay Dak Prescott, it opens the floodgates. You can save between $26.2 and $39 million by extending Dak Prescott. You can save anywhere in between that in between that ballpark part, just by the estimates. So you clear the cap space to sign those other two guys by getting Dak Prescott's extension done first. So it's a win-win for the Dallas Cowboys. You can keep all three if you do one first. And hey, Tyler did make that Pro Bowl selection though. He did make that Pro Bowl selection. So next question was y'all don't be shy now, man. Hey, we ain't in no rush to jump off we ain't in no rush to jump off of here, man. Take your time. Y'all want to get y'all questions in, man. And if you don't, just let me know and we'll wrap up and we'll come back later. All right. Well, I do appreciate y'all for tapping in and showing love to the liquor store, man. I'm finna parlay for a little while. Sit back, relax, listen to the rain. I will be back live later on today, man. But if y'all have not watched it yet, go and watch the Malik Hooker interview. That landlord and West Coast were involved in. Hold on. I can't leave out without answering my boy question. With the changes that possibly going to happen, who do you expect a bigger year from? Brandon Cooks is going to be utilized more than Michael Gallup because of his flexibility in the offense. He can play slot, he can play outside. He is more of a West Coast system wide receiver. And right now he's wide receiver number 2. When you're the number 2 wide receiver, you will get more targets. So he will have more opportunities, and I think he'll take advantage of those opportunities. So I think that Brandon Cooks is going to have a bigger year. It's all good, man. I still appreciate you for tapping in and showing love. Smoke one for you. Who is the interview with Hooker? West Coast. Oops, there go the lights. West Coast landlord were involved in the Malik Hooker interview. I think it was also Law and Boss Cowboy. But I did not have a chance to watch it in full. And there's the Thunder. Who do you think would be the first play? Come on now, it's still Mike McCarthy. He's gonna be the first play from scrimmage this year. Is gonna be like a play action pass. It'll be like a little play action pass to get Dak Prescott comfortable, in this new offense, and then they'll take off from there. But yeah, odds are it's gonna be a safe, play. It's gonna be a play action. I think it's gonna be like a play action pass or a screen pass. But I do think it'll be a pass. Oh, go to West Coast Facebook page. Go to West Coast Facebook page. That's where I seen it at. I said, wear the hat. I still got a couple of them, man. I got freshly retwisted, got a fade. I gotta let the hair breathe a little bit, man. So I got number. I'm rocking my fandom on the jersey today. I got the Dak Prescott, got the little gold ropes over it. Still sharp in my fandom, man. Still sharp in my fandom. Yeah, I usually try and wear like the run the damn ball hat or the Dallas Cowboys hat, but I usually never sit down long enough for my wife to do my hair. She insisted since I was going to Dallas that she retwist my hair, so it's actually done today. I usually wear a hat to hide that my hair is not done. Appreciate it, brother. Appreciate it. Yeah, so that's what I usually wear a hat for, to hide that my hair is not done. But she, held me down and did my hair this time around. Will Micah the Lion Parsons break the sack record? You say, I thought you slapped the hell out of Eagles fan with your hat. That's probably a good idea. That's probably a good usage of the hat. But, you can't get shit on a Dallas Cowboy hat. You can't get shit on a run the ball hat. So, Eagles usually have shit in their mouth because that's one of their main sources of nutrition. So, I don't want to get shit on my Cowboys hat. So, we might need to refrain from slapping Eagles fans with Cowboys hats. Yo, what's up with you, Double R? Thank you for tapping in and showing love, bro. But let's see what the sack record is. NFL sack record. 22 and a half sacks. So that would mean he would have to get 23 sacks, which has never happened before. Michael Strahan is the first person to get 22 and a half sacks in the season. And then TJ Watt got 22 and a half sacks, not too long ago. So do I think, I don't know. That's a tough ask. If we can get the lead and give Michael Parsons more opportunities to rush the passer, if we can get the lead, if our run defense steps up, we're able to keep teams from being able to run on us to get back into games and just have to throw the ball to move the ball down the field. Michael Parsons has an opportunity to do it. It's going to be a tough ask, but I do think Michael Parsons will set a personal best for sacks this season. But I don't necessarily know if he will break the NFL sack record. I can see Michael Parsons getting 15, 16, 17 sacks, but for him to get 23 is a huge ask. I pray that he does, man. Like, listen, you need good luck in order to win a Super Bowl. Remember, you remember the Rams? I keep bringing this up. Matthew Stafford tried to throw the game away, and the defensive back dropped the interception, and they were able to go down there and win the game. Or Philadelphia Eagles were in full control of the game. Jalen Hurts fumbled without being touched, and led to a scoop of scores. One of the turning points in that game. Or you think about and really that's not even up for debate, right? When you look at the actual war, the whole ground shook. But yeah, man, you need a little bit of good luck in order to win a championship as well. You don't just need good players. Like everybody in the postseason got good players. You would be in the postseason if you didn't have good players, right? In order to make it there, you at least won your division or won enough games to be a wild card, right? So there's no such thing as a bad team in the postseason. So you need a little bit of luck, in order to beat multiple good teams back to back to back. You need a little bit of luck to beat a lot of good teams back to back to back like that. Neville Gallimore. They like Neville. Shit. Well, if there is a defensive tackle who is on the bubble, it's Neville Gallimore. Because they already have, somebody that can fill his role for him. In Osa, Osa is a 3-tech that can pressure the quarterback. Then you already drafted Junior Fihoko, and you were expected to play him at 3-tech a lot. So if there's an odd man out at 3-tech, I think it is Neville Gallimore. If there's an odd man out at 3-tech, it will be Neville. Oh, Barr ain't on the team no more. Yeah, Anthony Barr is a free agent that has not been signed by anybody. Yeah, Anthony Barr is a free agent who has not been signed by anybody. So I think it's just about over with. I seen that too. Shout out to Law Nation, man. Great experience meeting him in person. Letting me operate the show while they had some things to do. Letting me interview Josh Howard, who is one of my all-time favorite Dallas Mavericks, because y'all know I am also a diehard Dallas Mavericks fan. So it was a great experience, and I appreciate them for everything too. Yeah, I agree. You said Williams is going to go off. Land is too. Hey, we got some people, man. We got some great. We got some great players. I'm just ready for training camp at this point. I'm ready for training camp, the preseason, and I'm ready for the season to start. But yo, man, I am finna go ahead and get out of here. I've been on here for an hour and a half, just about. So thank y'all for the love. I will be back later on, to bring y'all some more Dallas Cowboys content. So in the meantime, man, y'all make sure y'all stay in tune with the Sports Con content dropping. I'll drop some more of my I'll drop some more of my standalone videos from SportsCon. And we're gonna keep feeding y'all good Dallas Cowboys content, man. So on the way out, continue to hit that like button, continue to hit that share button, continue to hit them Eagles fans, and continue to hit those cash apps and super chats, man, so we can get some of y'all sent to this Dallas Cowboys Eagles game. So I'm supposed to be. I'm gonna hit Cole and see what his schedule looking like. But yeah, I'm supposed to be going live with Cole. So y'all just tap in, and I will let y'all know for certain what's going on. But hey, appreciate all y'all, man. I will get at y'all. Sorry to hear that about your Braves, man. But I hope all is well with you, Jameson.